turn the simple into magic. Turn the background to a classic. Love ain't just in February, no, no. It's late night calls when your heart feels heavy. It's slow jams playing in a parked up Chevy. A real thing, baby, we don't move petty. Love ain't just in February, yeah. Sunday sweats and your big t-shirt ready. Every month you're my Valentine. Love all year, you're my favorite sign.
Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly Show, brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. Happy Tuesday, man. It's a bittersweet Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday of the off season. That's right. Super Bowl is over. That means no more football until August, September. Of course, we're gonna keep things rolling here on Sports Lounge Media because we cover all major sports. But I can't lie and say that I'm not sad by the fact that football is over, with that being my first love. But like I said, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. But before we get in today's show, you just heard the brand new single from Elite Porsche off of his debut album. Love Isn't Just in February, scheduled to debut February the 22nd. Pre-orders will be available February 20th on all streaming platforms. So make sure you go out and get that ASAP. But we got to get to the show today. First thing up, we got to talk about Super Bowl 60. So first things first, we got to congratulate the Seattle Seahawks for taking care of business at Levi Stadium. They defeated the New England Patriots by a score of 29-13 in impressive fashion. When I think about the notes of this game, it really was never close. From the first snap, offensively, Seattle seemed like they had this game in hand. As a matter of fact, on their opening drive, they marched right down the field. Had to settle for 3, but they had sole control of this game for all 4 quarters. And on defense, they was just suffocating. The Patriots punted the whole first half, well into the second half. Drake May seemed confused. His offensive line just couldn't protect him at all. It just seemed like Seattle did whatever they wanted to offensively. They established a run game. Defensively, they established a run game early, which led to success on the ground for Walker, who ended up being the Super Bowl MVP. So that speaks for itself. It's not a whole lot to talk about just because it was so lopsided. But when we think back to what we've been saying all season, it's really a testament to how wide open the NFL was. What's good, Don?
What's going on?
It really was a testament to how wide open the NFL has been, like, all season long. Like we talked about it every week. It really was one of them years where you could see 5 or 6 teams on each side of the conference hoisting up a Lombardi, just because it was no real juggernauts. Now, it's some people that claim that they saw Seattle being one of the best teams, if not the best team, in the NFL. I guess. Huh? I'm on the show. Yeah, some people claim that they saw this coming. They saw Seattle being one of the best teams in the league all season long. I people gonna claim whatever they're gonna claim, but we know as football fans, it really was more so than any other year, this year right here it just felt like anybody could win it, like on both sides. So this game came down to that. It just felt like to me, Seattle was really never in danger of losing this game. Um, you tell me what you saw when we covered that game on Primetime Sports.
You had cut out for a good minute. I don't know what you done said.
Oh, I was saying, just give me your thoughts on what you saw in Super Bowl 60.
Oh, okay. Um, Zada, go back in the room with your sister. I'll be in there in a minute. Probably come to look for some doggone chips or something. But anyway, yeah, in the Super Bowl, like you were saying in the beginning, was lopsided. The Patriots kind of got that touchdown. Kind of got did they get 2 touchdowns or 1?
Who? Patriots?
Patriots.
I think it might have just been one. I don't
Yeah, I
even
think.
remember them scoring twice.
Yeah, me either. But maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't remember them
But
like
anyway,
going for it on for 2 or nothing like that. So I think
right.
it's just a field goal, 2
Yeah,
field goals.
probably was. But yeah, like you said, it was kind of lopsided. A whole lot of Seattle and Seattle. They really was moving the ball all game. They couldn't really score touchdowns like they wanted to, but they was moving the ball all game. Then they started getting the running game incorporated, and pretty much with Seattle game the whole game. I mean, it outside of we kind of felt like if the Patriots come in the second half and maybe they do this and maybe they do that, maybe it's a different game. But second half ended up being a really lot more of what we saw in the first half, and Seattle kind of ran off with it. So it really ain't a whole lot to say about it. The Seattle was on. Drake made the whole game. He didn't really have a lot of time in the pocket.
Whole game.
They kept pressuring him, kept sacking him. What we really kind of expected from Seattle defense, and I think they even really kind of probably shouldn't even have 13 because I think that if I'm not mistaken, they gave them life on that drive with the little penalty and all that stuff like that. But it ain't a whole lot to say. It ain't a whole lot to say out of there. It was a lot of Seattle. They did what they were supposed to do, really, on both sides of the ball. I do like what the Patriots defense gave the whole team a chance. The offense couldn't really just get it going, but outside of that, man, it was all Seattle.
What the Patriots did in the Super Bowl was really reminiscent to how we looked all season long, like with defense really holding it in the road, but offense just not really being able, maybe not protection wise, because they had more lapses in protection than we normally see. But when you think about the lack of production on the offensive side of the ball and just not being able to get things going. Turn the TV down too. Turn the TV down. Yeah, with the lack of production that they had on the offensive side of the ball, it just really reminded me of the 25 Birds this year. Happy Tuesday, Daniel Bear. When it comes to Sam Darnold and what he ended up doing, not only in this game but in the playoffs, really it just seemed like he took. Turn it off then. Tripping today. She know what be happening on Tuesday. Go on. Just go on. Turn it off. Turn it off. Man, I forgot what I was saying. When I think about Sam Darnold and what he's done in the playoffs this year, it really just seemed like they took a page out of old Hurts book, because he ain't turned the ball over not one time in the whole postseason. He really just did enough in each game in the postseason to win the game. And when in the NFC Championship, he had to turn it on to go toe to toe with Stafford. He did that too. So um, it's a testament to like what we have in QB1 because that's the same thing we would have got out of Hurts. Um, a lot of people would try to discount what we saw from Sam Darnold just because they want to see, they want to see a quarterback throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns every game. And that's the only way to validate a win. But when you consider the fact that that's basically what you got from Stafford in the MVP season, but he still ain't, he wasn't in no Super Bowl. So I would say the one thing that sticks out to me about Sam Darnold in this playoff run was just that he played winning football. He was
Yeah.
down all year long. He put up, we he that's the one question mark that we really had about the Seahawks. Because when we look at everywhere else, they had enough to be a championship roster. But when we look at Sam Darnold in particular, we was like, I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't know what he gonna do in the big game. But he proved us all wrong. And really that's all that matters as a quarterback. What you was about to say?
I don't even know what I was about to say.
It'll come back to you. But yeah, Stafford, but Sam Darnold playing, winning football, running the ball well. They established the run game super early in that game, and then it just kept working. Um, the Patriots, though, and we kind of talked about it at halftime of that game where it kind of begs the question like how good were the Patriots? I kind of hate to do that because you just don't want to discount a team making it to the bowl. Um, but it kind of makes you question their regular season schedule just a little bit. But even with that being said, they still made it to the Super Bowl. So I mean, they didn't get to, I mean, you don't set your regular season, but you really don't control who you play in the playoffs. And they won. Gone. You see, I'm
what you
working.
what you got going on?
Go ask mommy. She on one today, boy. She ain't never did this. Man, what was I talking about? The Pats in their schedule. So a lot of people would say that they saw that coming because they had a weak schedule in the regular season and they ain't really play nobody. And then when they got to the playoffs, they kind of got let off the hook with favorable matchups. Playing against Herbert, which don't never do nothing in the playoffs, playing against a second string quarterback in the AFC Championship, and the other starting quarterback, CJ Stroud, turned the ball over 5 times. So some people will argue that they really had an easy route to the Super Bowl and their luck just ran out. How you feel about that?
Like I kind of was saying when we kind of touched on this before during the game, like I said then, it's kind of a little bit of truth to that, but at the same time, it's kind of like I also see it as in like for being the New England Patriots, like they probably had. I'm trying to think who all in the division, but they probably had one of the easiest schedules they can get. But really coming off of, they didn't make no noise like that last year. They did okay, I think. And Drake May
Nah,
for
they
well,
won like 4 games
May,
last year.
yeah, well, Drake May looked it pretty good, even though they ended up losing them games. But
Mhm.
they had one of the easiest schedules you can have, and then when you turn around coming off one of them schedules, that's the schedule you wanna make your run off of if you can. When you get a new head coach and all these other new, and you somewhat feel like we in the rebuilding phase or retooling or whatever, but at the same time, hell, you still want to go as far as you can go. So with them having an easier schedule, they did what they were supposed to do and took advantage of it. And then when you got in the playoffs, hey, stuff fell our way, and we was good enough to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of see it like that as well. And like you said, it's a little bit in there of like, maybe they schedule ain't prepared. I mean, also maybe they just didn't have the team. And you gotta understand, even if none of that is the case, you gotta also look at the team they went up against. We've been seeing Seattle defense ball out all year. So, you know, was it just Seattle defense? Like they might have had to went to the Super Bowl against somebody else, and it might have been a competitive game. But Seattle just went in there on their usual stuff defensively and got the job done. So like I feel like I don't feel like it's just like one thing you can point to. I just kind of feel like it's a bunch of different things.
Tell me this. Who do you think is more likely to be back next year?
That's tough.
Not even back. Let's just say which one of them is more likely to go on a run next year.
And be like in the playoffs
Yeah,
again.
a deep hunt. Because we already know how hard it is to make it back.
See, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because that's a tough one, and I kind of answer that question like this. That's a tough one because with the Patriots, I'm always gonna be a believer in Vrabel, and I think he gonna always have his guys in the best position. They gonna see what they was lacking with him, and he the type of coach where I feel like he know he know what they was lacking. There ain't gonna be a situation where like Washington last year when they feel like, we just gonna bring a couple of these vets in here and then we gonna do. Nah, I think he know exactly what they was missing. I think he know exactly what to do, and they might have an even better team. And outside of injury, I think Vrabel had that team poised and ready to do what they need to do next year. Now, as far as Seattle goes, you got Sam Darnold who coming off 2 pretty good years back to back. So I think in Seattle case, Sam Darnold probably gonna be straight, but I think they gonna come down to how good can your defense be again. Now they might not be as good as they was, but can they be pretty good? Um, and then it's also gonna matter outside of that. It's also gonna matter about the pieces around Sam Darnold on that offense. We know JSN ain't gonna be there. Is he gonna be healthy for the whole season? Are they gonna go get somebody else? They trying to run it back as well. And with them being the defending Super Bowl champs, like we always say, everybody gonna be playing them tough because the defending champs and stuff like that. So man, it's kind of I can make a great argument on why both of these teams could be back, not necessarily in the Super Bowl, but back to being good teams next year. And I can also make a case why one or the other could fall off. But I think the Patriots will be straight. I think Seattle. I think that Seattle be. If you had to make me pick one, I have to go with the Patriots. Just the simple fact of, like I said, Vrabel. What I seen him do with Tennessee year in and year out, they was making deep playoffs run every year with Vrabel. The Tennessee Titans. So imagine what he could do with the Patriots outside, I think, injury. So if you force me to pick somebody, I would have to go with the Patriots. But I really can make a case on why both of them will probably be straight. But I'm gonna go Patriots.
I can see that. For a lot of reasons. Starting with the Pats, they probably not losing their offensive or defensive coordinator. They saw where their deficiencies was in this playoff run and throughout the season. So you would think that they would retool the offensive line and get Drake May like a bona fide number one. If they want to come get AJ for Gonzo, we
Huh?
always down for that. And then when we talk about Seattle, they lost Clint Kubiak, so he going to be the head coach for the Raiders now. We already know that losing the offensive coordinator is huge. Is that the end all be all for your season the following year? Not necessarily, but it's definitely gonna be different. at the very least. So they gonna have some growing pains coming out the gate. I believe that Kenneth Walker is a free agent, so they're gonna have to figure out if they're gonna pay him or move on from him because his price can't get no higher than it is right now, coming off a Super Bowl MVP. JSN probably locked in for the long haul. They can't let him out the building. And I don't even think it's that time to even worry about that. But I had to agree with you. I think the Patriots are probably more likely. But when we consider this, Patriots gonna have a number one schedule next year. So you can do that what you will. Them first place schedules be hard as hell. Let me see. Top left, low key look like dude from Shark Tank. Yeah, good one.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither. But yeah, it wasn't really much. It wasn't really much to talk about on that game, but we got to get into the meat and potatoes of why we're really here.
Let's get it.
Starting with you know, STU. I don't know if they lost their accreditation or what, but Stout is out. We losing Jeff Stoutland after an amazing 13-year career as the offensive line coach. Has had experience as the run game coordinator and has really held it down and been like a staple for the Eagles for the better part of his tenure here. He's coached some of the best offensive linemen in the league, from Jason Peters, the Ty Harrimans, Jason Kelsey's, Lane Johnson. He's been a part of 3 different Super Bowl runs at the very least. He will be missed. I think when we think about, appreciate you, Mogul. When we think about what Jeff Stoutland has brought to the Eagles the past 13 years, definitely more highs than lows. As a matter of fact, the only lows that I could think of, and it's only because it's fresh, is this 2025 season. Um, Probably one of the roughest, if not the roughest year in his entire tenure. So you can't really blame all of that on him. But we put Stoutland on such a pedestal that it's gonna be weird to move on without him. Tell me what you think about the move and the decision for him to move on from the Bears.
When I initially seen it, I ain't really feel no type of way about it. I just was like, hey, it is what it is. Like sometimes it's just time to move on. I ain't really had no man, it had been a couple years ago. I was like, damn, they let stop. What the hell going on? But like damn, but nah, I ain't really feel no type of way about it. Probably from the simple fact he done been there for a while. And then coming out the season, we coming off of, I just feel like, man, it's time to shake things up a bit. We done had stop for a while. The guys who in there been under stop for a while, hell, if they can't take what stop taught them and continue to move forward, then did they learn anything? So I ain't tripping on that as far as like any veteran players that's in there. I think Stout is great when it's knowing who to put where and how to save guys' careers and stuff like that, and how to use guys and stuff like that. And I think he one of the best at doing that. And I think some of it is just simply the Eagles organization is also just ran like that. Also, just hearing different things in the media over the years, just like I think I was talking to you about this earlier this season about stuff I heard in the past of them just talking about. I think it might have been a season or two ago, and it was like they should put Hurts on the center more, blah blah this and that, and then like I said, I can't remember who it was, but it was basically coming out and saying, well, the reason why Hurts not under center more doesn't have a whole lot to do with Hurts not want to be on the center, and has something to do with basically Jeff Stoutland in the run game and how he want to do his runs, and him being on the center wouldn't be you know as good in certain runs that Stout like to do with the offensive line and stuff like that or whatever. Like I don't know how true that is, but why would somebody just make that up? And but anyway, um, and then with it, like I said, with us coming off the season that we coming off of, we got a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback coach, and new coaches in the offensive room. Why not go get a new offensive line coach? So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. Bring some new blood in there, man. We see things shake up a bit because, excuse me, without changing Stoutland, I feel like a lot of the run game. Not saying that anything is wrong with it, but a lot of the run stuff is still gonna be the same with Stout being there. So with them bringing in a new OC, new quarterback coach, I ain't tripping off them bringing in a new offensive line coach. Let's see what he got. I kind of feel like it's like I said, time to shake things up a bit. Let's get some of these new, fresh guys in the building, especially on that offensive side of the ball, and see what we can do. Now I'm there. I'm not saying that I'm not also saying that I'm not gonna miss Stout. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves Stout. Stoutland, we know the guys love Stout. Everybody familiar with them. Players come. I'm sure a lot of offensive linemen come just to be coached by Stout.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regards, he'll be missed. But I think it's gonna turn out for the better, and we're gonna see some. We'll hopefully we see a new offense this year. Like I ain't gonna say completely new, but way newer than like what we usually get. Like I don't even want them to try to hold on none to the old stuff like they always do. Oh, we're gonna take all the stuff that work. Nah, bro.
Scrap it all. Scrap it all. That's actually a perfect segue into our new offensive line coach. So,
Hold
as it
on,
was,
hold on, folks. Nah. How you feel about it though?
I mean, I do. He spent the Chris Cooper has spent the last 4 years coaching the offensive line for the Vikings. I have always admired what the Vikings do both in the run and pass game. So like you said, if we gonna get some fresh blood, at least it's coming from somebody who know what he doing. Um he may not be of Stout's caliber, but he a young up and coming coach. I wouldn't even say up and coming because 4 years is enough to establish yourself as you knowing what you're doing. So I like the move. It tracks with everything else that we're doing offensively from a coaching standpoint. We, like you said, we're getting fresh blood in the building. We're getting some new ideas and thoughts in the building because we already know we got the talent on the offensive side of the ball. It's just about it came to a head last year that what we was continuing to do just wasn't working no more. So if you're not going to change the head coach, which is the last thing that you can do, you got to change everything else on the offensive side of the ball and hand the reins over to a seasoned offensive coordinator, which we don't necessarily have a seasoned one, but I think with these types of moves is putting our new offensive coordinator in a good position to succeed because it's not like KP where he just basically got thrown to the wolves in a sense.
What was you thinking when you seen Stout was gone?
Under normal circumstances, I would have been a whole lot more upset about the move. But when you watch this year that we had, it was time to clean house, in my opinion, because wasn't nothing working. Like the offense was so bad this season, I'm not surprised. Like it was time for a change. The offense had got stale, um, and what we was looking at every week, it just was frustrating to see like the same thing. Like we literally was doing the same thing for 18, 19 weeks. And if that's the best that you can come up with who's in the building, get them out the building. You had to send them to the back because it wasn't
For real.
working no more. So as much as we love Stout, and you can't really blame what we saw last year on Stout alone. It was time to just shake things up, bro. So we appreciate his 13 years in Philly. We appreciate all the tutelage and helping make the Eagles had one of the best offensive lines over the 13 years that he was here. Turning a rugby player who didn't know nothing about football into one of the best left tackles in the building. Continuing to mold and shape a young Lane Johnson into a 13-year vet, Lane Johnson.
Yeah,
Um, you just it he got endless accolades. So he's
right.
definitely he earned all he a legend in Philly.
They got
Let's put
two
it that way.
rings.
He a legend in Philly. So obviously whenever you lose somebody of that stature, it sting a little bit. But when you saw the year that we had last year, everything
And
must
you
go.
and you know it's all for the like the greater good. Like they ain't just
Yeah,
making like it ain't like they just throwing him under the bus or no stuff like that. Like I feel like sometimes hard decisions got to be made. I'm sure everybody in there they love Stout, but it's
right.
kind of like sometimes like you said, hey, you got to make moves you don't want to make for the greater good of the for the bigger picture. Um, Shoot, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't have been mad if they done went ahead got a new wide receiver coach, new pass game coordinator, and then if they want to, they really could push on AJ. Now let me stop. Stop.
But nah, when you saw what we saw this past year offensively, and how they was literally the weakest link of the team, I mean, it was only right for them to make some drastic changes. The only other change that they could have made was getting rid of Nick too. So they did everything but get rid of Nick on the offensive side of the ball.
Pretty much.
Um, Defense, it really hurt more to lose Christian Parker than it did to lose Stoutland at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but we understand that it was a promotion. We already know that he did all he could do here. Like he helped mold two young stars in his own right. So hopefully they got enough in Q and Coop. Hopefully they learned enough to go out here and have amazing careers. Hopefully in Philly. I don't know. We'll see. But he did what he was supposed to do here. Uh, I didn't see no reports of us losing Clint Hurt. So at least we still got him in the building. He could potentially be a defensive coordinator candidate if Fangio decide to hang him up after this season. So as far as this move, I like it. I like it considering everything else that we did. I like what the work that he's already done with Minnesota. Um, they putting together the pieces. So I mean, it still remains to be seen how we make things shake in this off season. But yeah, I like that move. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. He definitely would have been our guy. Well, at least in my mind, if Stout. If Fangio would have been gone, go ahead put Christian Parker up. But yeah, so yeah, I wasn't mad at none. I wasn't mad at none of the moves, man. Like I said, they could have got new wide receiver coaches and pass game coordinator, all that. But I'm sure the pass game coordinator probably changed anyway. But
Yeah, he did. We
yeah,
got old boy from Tampa Bay, Grizzard. So we're
but
gonna have a new OC, a new pass game coordinator, a new run game coordinator. I'm sure it's some more moves that's gonna be made, but we're moving in the right direction as far as shaking things up. So I mean, will it pan out? That remains to be seen. Everything sounds good in the early off season. What matters is what it looked like in September. Um,
yeah, and then I think much like the year before that, I think guys will come in more focused. And when
Mhm.
you gotta be more focused when you got new coaches in the building, especially at positions like new offensive line. You coming in there, you ain't on none of stout stuff, so you got to be detailed. So that's going, and then you coming off the season you came off of, so that's just gonna have more intensity to it anyway. Um, I think they gonna be much in the mind of what they was the year prior when we came off that other bad season. So um, sometimes it's hard to like we coming out the Super Bowl. Guys ain't coming in there with that same type of intensity
Hunger.
they was coming off that bad season. Now we coming off another season. It ain't in how you want to. They gonna come in there and put that work in, man.
Yeah. I like some of the moves they making. I'll be interested to see how we attack the draft when it comes to the old line. How we attack the free agency when it comes to wide receivers. Because we still don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen with AJ. We kind of split in half as a fan base. I
Yep.
think the whole fan base was fed up with him at the moment when they saw how it ended in in Philly. But when he came out this past week in media row and kind of said he was coming back, um, that smoothed out half of the fan base. But really, it ain't up to bruh. How we could have something in the works now that we don't know about. He just waiting on free agency to hit or the new year to hit. Who knows? Could he be on the team next year? Maybe. But I don't think either one of us would be upset if he got up out of here, especially it's especially if it was for something good in return.
Exactly.
Um, because we seen how it looked this past year. So it's kind of like one of them things where you're not gonna keep getting away with doing
Yeah,
this
I
shit.
don't even want to see bruh being a distraction to like
Right.
if I gotta go through another age media doing talking this and that about age, man, bro. I'd rather hear the media talking about that he should have kept AJ. I'd rather
Yeah.
hear him saying that. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather hear him saying that than him actually being on the team and being a hindrance to the team.
Yeah.
Like I rather pretty much we'll be in the same position if you was on the team. So why the hell would
Mm-hmm.
we keep you? Like damn, might well get you up out of here and then try to get some, like you said, something good. Like that's what I'm looking at. Like, hey, let's get something good for
Mm-hmm. But while we weigh our options there, we already know Howie one of the best to do it. So he gonna make the best. He gonna get the best bang for his buck. Um, and we gonna see what's gonna happen this offseason. So we already done talked about some of the moves that we would like to see specifically at the wide receiver position. Um, we'll be talking more about some of these studs coming out of the draft now that we know where everybody is drafting. I believe we like 23rd or something like that.
you. Yeah, I literally
Uh,
just seen on my phone while I was on here, somebody posted the Eagles need to get the cornerback out of Clemson.
yeah. So this is that part of the season where uh oh, I guess not season. It's that part of the year where we start to weigh our options and see who we want coming out the draft, who we want that's available in free agency, who we want that's maybe not available but maybe available via trade. So we'll weigh all that over the coming weeks. We got the draft on April 23rd or something like that. So we'll be weighing the options there. This is actually now that we got the off season underway, this is our last Tuesday show. So next week we'll be switching over to Friday, 7:30 p.m. And then Primetime Sports gonna switch to NBA. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be covering the best NBA games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So mark your calendars there. So it's really you're gonna see us Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. No more Sundays for the off season. And maybe who knows if we see a good fight that's worth streaming, we'll throw that up there too. Put your deuce up, both of them.
Yeah, AJ, put you. Pussy dude. I'm telling you, get bro out of there. I don't even like bro character no more, man. Matter of fact, I don't even like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, and I probably was one of the more patient AJ fans. I think you was pretty much done with him after what he did last season.
I was straight. I wasn't even tripping on last season.
It was pretty much this season.
I didn't start tripping on last season until this season. It made me look at last season different. Like when the stuff he started pulling this year, when he was jumping in the media and all, I was like, that's why I'm looking back at last season, like, maybe the book thing was, because I'm looking at the book thing like he
it
just was on the
now.
sideline. Yeah, I was just on the sideline with a book, and he had been doing it prior to when they finally seen him with the book.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he been had the like, and the time when he said he been had the book, you gotta remember he missed a large part of the season. Well, not a large part, but a large part of the beginning of the season, like the first few games, because of injury, and then doggone when he came in, it wasn't like right away was like stuff going on, but like boom, I didn't come to that conclusion until this year. Like I'm looking at everybody last year crazy, like, hey, why y'all tripping on AJ? So boom, for me to feel that type of way, and then he come into this season and kind of was doing more of the same, and kind of made it. That's what made me look at last season different. Like you run into the media, and he making it seem like he was getting out of hand with it. Like he making it seem like he making it a point to, I got to put this out there.
He go out his way.
I gotta go do this, and I got you jumping on people's stream saying little caddy, like it was like a female type stuff. Like, bro, you just like dang, like it's just like he had to get it out, and it had to be like to the media. Like I'm thinking, like, bro, you ain't got nobody you can call. Like you gotta say this online. Like he was making it a point, like this gotta be said online.
And
like,
then he was making it seem like he was doing it for the team.
Yeah, then that's what was pissing me off too. He trying to make it seem like, nah, I'm really just trying to help the team. I'm only nah, bro. You on some other stuff. I'm talking about penitentiary rules and effect knowledge.
I think for me, what brought it to a head for me was when we beat the Vikings, and he had like 4 catches for 100 and some yards and like 2 touchdowns. And right after the game, he run to the internet talking about some using me, but not using me. That's when I was done. I might have been late to the party, but after that, you go ahead and pack.
Yeah, that was just making it. That was just validating my point at it, because I'm like, dang, bro, you balled out. You still going on here talking about some using me, but not using me. Like, damn, what could have been done? Like at this point, that's what. Like I was already done with him, but that's when the point when I was like, yeah, he don't even want. He trying to get up out of here.
Be here.
Yeah, he trying to get up out of here, and like you like. It was just because now you throwing and then without you even saying names, you throwing Hurts under the bus, you throwing Nick under the bus, you throwing KP under the bus, you making it
every week,
and you making it seem like it's everybody but you. Then you turn around and you out there. We see you not pass. I don't know if he like nobody was really saying nothing about it, especially not in the beginning. But I seen it last year. But I'm like, damn, bro, I ain't pass blocking worth a damn. He ain't run blocking worth a damn. He ain't running routes worth a damn. He baby arm in it, T-Rex arm. I'm like, what the fuck on? Like, I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't even want to be here no more. So get him off the team. And a lot of people looking at it as in like, dang, bro, so talented. Dang, we gotta keep him. Nah, man. Like sometimes it ain't even worth it. It ain't even like you can't let his talent outweigh his lack of effort and his distraction that he bringing to the team year in and year out, bro. Like you ain't even, and they gonna try to use that as well. Hurts to get him to bro. Nah. So I'm ready for bro to get up out of here.
And we AJ fans, so that's the crazy part about it. Like I still feel like he like top 3, top 4 in the whole league
for real. He top
was
5.
good money.
He top 5, maybe even top 3, but sometimes it just ain't even worth it. Sometimes it's just because this was gonna happen. The people who then flip flop back over and was like, wow, we should keep him whatever because a lot of times out of sight, out of mind, they done forgot all about it. They just thinking about what they want to do next season. They hoping the OC gonna be great or whatever, and we want to see what AJ look like and Hurts and everybody in the nah, man, because it's gonna be more of the same. He gonna go back to what he been doing the last 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
really 2.5, because he had started the year before too, the year before that one. Um, Nah, I don't even want to have I don't want to see. I don't even want to see it. Like I don't even because as soon as I'm like, damn, we should have traded this. Like then the
Mm-hmm.
media gonna be talking. That's all they gonna be talking about, regardless if we winning games or not. AJ Brown, Hurts ain't getting them the ball. AJ throwing fits or he AJ getting the ball and it ain't enough. Like I don't even want to go through that no more, man. It's just it is
Yeah.
like I said. Let's get them up out of there. Probably for I want to get a top flight corner, and then we can go get some wide receivers out here available. They in bad situations, and they would love to come over here and get with Smitty in the game, and they wouldn't even complain about nothing
Mm-mm.
because they've
Nah.
been losing so long. They're gonna come over here and they're gonna eat when it's time to eat, and then they're gonna do whatever they need to do when it's time to do what they need to do.
Yeah. So I trust how we gonna make the right decision. Um.
And there's only one right decision, Howie.
he he gonna make it do what it do. But like you said, it's just one of them. We tired of the same old dance. We know what it looked like. Because it's not a question of talent. We know even with how bad the offense looked, even with how distracted he was, he still had 1,000 yard season. Um, well, that's light work. It ain't a question of can he do it. It's really just it's time to move on.
Then he probably over here looking at the seasons that other he probably over there looking at Jamar Chase and doggone Devontae Adams and all
Mm-hmm,
these people who ain't made it to no damn bowl. And,
mm-hmm.
man, and this is what I was about to say earlier when I forgot what I was about to say. You had mentioned Stafford real quick. That's another reason why I'm glad they ain't even make it to the damn bowl, because everybody was hyping their ass about, man, look, Stafford throwing that thing. Puka, man, they was offense and defense was looking that damn good. They didn't even make the damn bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something? Because if Hurts was in that same position, they look at that team they built around. He couldn't even make it to the Super Bowl. Nonsense. It
Mm-hmm.
was Stafford. I ain't know you ain't gonna hear a goddamn thing.
Crickets. They gave him. They
Brother
gave him
had Puka.
MVP.
Brother had Puka and
Devontae
Devontae Adams. Both of
and
them
a
was in
running
the game,
game.
and they had a run game, and they had a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even make it. Now they can't even make those because they try to make excuse for he ain't had no with the other people. They ain't had no defense. This person ain't had no defense. All right. Well, Stafford got all that, and y'all already think he better than Hurts. Bro didn't even
Mm-hmm.
make it. But I can't. Well, I'm gonna make a reel about this, short about this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the 26 birds look like. I'm because we ended up not doing nothing. I'm glad that the season over with. Um, it just it early on you could kind of see the writing on the wall. We just hope that something different will happen eventually, but nothing ever really changed. The KP experiment is over. It didn't work. Um, it's time for some new blood. Hopefully, we get some new run concepts, some more creative concepts. Not to say that it was 100% bad, but it was
Stale.
95.
It was
Let's say
stale.
stale as hell. So we'll be talking more about some of the off-season additions that we have, who we keep, who we draft, all that good stuff. This is officially the off-season for the entire NFL. So I believe at this point all 32 head coaches are hired. Because I think Clint Kubiak was the last piece. So as soon as the Super Bowl was over, he went on over to
Oh, they already announced it.
Vegas. I think so. I don't think it's official, but I was
Right.
still seeing the reports that were saying that for all intents and purposes, was going to be the new head coach in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, even on Google, they got him as the head coach. So yeah, it's official. He the last piece of the head coach free agency, which is why I was saying that could be a reason why Seattle possibly take a step back. Whenever you lose an offensive coordinator, and it don't mean necessarily that they will, but you know, at the very least, they're gonna have some growing pains with implementing a new system. We already know that Sam Darnold, even though he's gotten off the past 2 years, is it because he was in an excellent system, or if he just, the game finally slowed down and he, can play at a high level these days? So year 3, 2 years in a row where he's led a team to 14 wins, and now he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I'm sure that's going to do wonders for his confidence as well. So we'll have to put a pin in that. That's one of them things where we're just gonna have to wait and see. But for now, he done got the monkey off his back. That's really all we have for this week. Next week, like I said, we'll be joining y'all on Friday, same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll talk about the latest Eagles news. If anything interesting happened around the league, we'll cover that. So until then, we checking out. But like I said, not only are we moving to Fridays, but Primetime Sports will be coming to you with NBA game coverage starting next Tuesday. So you'll see us on Tuesday, but it won't be concerning the Eagles. We're gonna be on some NBA-ish. But until then, make sure y'all smash that like button, drop a few more comments, and subscribe. And as always, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Introducing Black Diamond Concentrate from Diamond Collection, a premium mineral supplement crafted to elevate your hydration experience. Formulated with no dyes, sweeteners, or artificial flavors, Black Diamond Concentrate is 100% natural. Just 2 dropfuls added to a 16.9 ounce bottle of water can transform the way you hydrate. Order today at poweredbytmb.com and use code DSP at checkout to receive a 20% discount. That's code DSP. All right, let's get back to the show.